Hello, this is Vladimir Colin from the Ablevision, and I'm here with
Steve Swan.
and I'm here to interview him for AbleGamers. So, Steve, what does AbleGamers do?
AbleGamers is a non-profit charity that helps people with disabilities get into playing video games no matter what their disability. So we actually have a couple of things that we do. We actually go and help people figure out what technology they need to use to play video games, but we also reach out to the industry and we tell them how to make games that are better for people with disabilities, such as having remappable controllers, having things that are easier to see and easier to read, stuff like that.
When did you start this?
AbleGamers started about 10 years ago when our founder, Mark Barley, got together with his sister, Stephanie, on EverQuest and discovered that Stephanie, because she has MS, was unable to play that night, and they realized that there was a need out there for a cause and a voice for disabled gamers to eliminate problems that they were facing.
Why is it important to you?
Well, personally, I would say that video games are important because they help us stay connected. They help people who are stuck in hospitals or facilities or places where they can't get out be able to reach out into the world. And above all, you're able to do things that you would never otherwise not be able to do in video games. For instance, I can't walk in real life, but in a video game, I can run up and shoot somebody with a saber sword or a gun or whatever. You know, I can do things that real life would never allow me to do.
And how did you get this job?
Well, I've known Mark for years, and I'm a disabled gamer myself. I have cerebral palsy, so this is a personal stake for me, and I'm also a developer, so I actually by day work on games, and I felt that it was a really good fit for me to act as a voice for disabled gamers and to also work with developers on what they can do to make games better for people like me. Actually, that's what I'm doing here a lot this weekend. I have about 30 meetings this weekend with developers that are showing off their new games, and I try them out for a few minutes and then I give my feedback on what they can do to make them more accessible.
And how did you start it over here in Expo?
Well, we decided that about 4 years ago, we decided that we needed to reach out to the gamers of the world and really let them know that their disabled brother and sister need support. We need their support to let the gaming industry know that just because you're a gamer with disability, you're no less important. You need to be looked out for, you need to be taken care of, and your needs need to be met just like everyone else. So that's why we're here, to let people know about gamers with disabilities, let them know that there's 33 million of us, and that people need to be thinking about that kind of thing.
How did this game get started, Mr. I?
With the eyes, so this right here is our C15 device. So it's an eye tracking device, and what we do is we illuminate the eyes so we can track the reflection of light off of them. So we know exactly where on the screen you're looking. So you can play games, you can go on Facebook, you can go on Skype, the internet. So this right here is actually our iAsteroids game, which is our main game that we have. It's mainly developed as a prototype to show what you can do with eye tracking. So really simple concept is you're protecting the Earth by just looking at asteroids, and a laser comes out and destroys the asteroid and saves the Earth. So very simple concept. You can also move your head from left to right to avoid firewalls for freedom of movement and things like that.
So this is the Adroit controller. This is a controller that AbleGamers designed with our partners at Evo Controllers. And this essentially, what this is an off-the-shelf Xbox 360 gamepad that's been converted into a Switch controller. Now what this means is that she's able to use switches instead of the gamepad itself to control the game. So these switches that are on the board right now could actually be put anywhere on your body, anywhere on any object. They're highly responsive. They take only a feather touch to use. And because we made this with all off-the-shelf components, what it means is that whereas a controller like this would normally cost about $1,500, because we're using just an Xbox 360 gamepad, we were able to do all of this for about $500. reverse,
Oh, there you
and then you can do left and right and
go. Oh,
go.
this one. Okay.
And then that's accelerate.
Okay. This is.
So Becky, how's your experience on the game?
I really liked it. It was very unique, something I hadn't tried before, and I think with a little bit of practice, I could be very good at it. I think it would definitely be useful for someone with less mobility than myself, and even for me.
And have you ever used buttons before on a computer like that?
I have not used buttons like that before, but I think it's a fantastic idea, and I think more people and more gaming manufacturers should embrace it. Gaming should be accessible to anyone who has an interest in it or enjoys it just for competitive reasons or for relaxation. It should be available to everybody.
I think so too.